Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the story of the Boston Bruins, one of the most iconic teams in NHL history. From the early days of the league to the present day, the Bruins have been a dominant force in the sport of hockey. The Boston Bruins were founded in 1924, and they played their first game at the Boston Arena on December 1st of that year. They were the first American team to join the NHL, and they quickly established themselves as a powerhouse. One of the key players in the early years of the Bruins was Eddie Shore, a tough and tenacious defenseman who played for the team from 1926 to 1940. Shore was a dominant force on the ice, and he helped lead the Bruins to 2 Stanley Cup championships. In the 1970s, the Bruins were led by Bobby Orr, one of the greatest players in NHL history. Orr was a dynamic offensive force and a masterful defenseman, and he helped lead the Bruins to 2 Stanley Cup championships in 1970 and 1972. In the 1980s and 1990s, the Bruins were led by Ray Bourque, a legendary defenseman who played for the team for over 2 decades. Bourque was a dominant force on the ice, and he helped lead the Bruins to the Stanley Cup Finals in 1988 and 1990. In 2011, the Bruins won their first Stanley Cup championship in 39 years, led by a dominant performance from goaltender Tim Thomas. The team played with heart and determination, and they captured the hearts of fans across the country. Today, the Bruins continue to be a dominant force in the NHL, with a deep roster of talented players and a passionate fan base that cheers them on at every game. From Eddie Shore to Bobby Orr to Ray Bourque to the current crop of talented players, the Boston Bruins have a storied history and a tradition of excellence that few teams can match. The Bruins were actually originally founded in 1924 as the first United States-based team in the NHL. They were initially called the Boston Tigers, but changed their name to the Bruins after purchasing the players of the Western Canada Hockey League's Victoria Cougars. The Bruins won their first Stanley Cup championship in 1929, just 5 years after the team was founded. They defeated the New York Rangers in the finals to claim the title. In addition to Eddie Shore, the Bruins had several other star players in the 1930s, including Dick Clapper, Tiny Thompson, and Milt Schmidt. Schmidt would go on to play for the Bruins for 16 seasons and later serve as the team's general manager. In addition to Bobby Orr, the Bruins had several other notable players in the 1970s, including Phil Esposito, Jerry Cheevers, and Johnny Busick. Esposito was a prolific scorer who won 2 Hart trophies as the NHL's most valuable player, while Cheevers was a standout goaltender who was known for his iconic mask. Ray Bourque was one of the best defensemen in NHL history, setting several records during his career with the Bruins. He was a 19-time All-Star, won 5 Norris trophies as the league's best defenseman, and finished his career with the most points by a defenseman in NHL history, until that record was later surpassed by Nicklas Lidstrom. The 2011 Stanley Cup Championship was a memorable one for the Bruins and their fans. The team battled through 3 7-game series and defeated the Vancouver Canucks in the finals to claim the title. Tim Thomas was the Conn Smythe Trophy winner as the playoffs' most valuable player, and the team's victory parade in Boston drew over 1 million fans. Thanks for joining us on this video about the Boston Bruins in hockey. We hope you learned something new and enjoyed this journey through the rich history of this iconic franchise. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribing to the channel is very important to us. Like the video and tell us what your hockey team is and we'll tell your story here. Until the next video.